We strongly try to encourage our beautiful brothers and sisters and especially in the African American community. But this doesn't just apply to people in the African American community, but in to people in any community that see themselves or find themselves digging into other people's problems without trying to solve them, but just trying to waste so much time gossiping and doing all this and doing all that goes in every community, because there's a lot of different communities that do this. But we want to focus specifically on the African American community, because it definitely needs the most help. And I know that because, of course, I am African. I have been in the African American community. I have seen with my own eyes how and where they need help, where they're failing, what's holding them back, what's keeping them, the ones that are being held back. For those of you that are successful, that have made it, this message is not for you. This message is specifically from God and from me, God being number one, but with him using me. This message is specifically for those that are out there struggling. Okay, I am not going to tell you that it's the devil. It's not the devil. It's the weakness of your own flesh, as God said. When you're weak in the flesh or weak mentally, okay, it is the devil too. Because the devil uses your weaknesses to get to you and to try. But we trying to not speak about or think about the enemy, because then people start to give the enemy power by being afraid of him and doing this, and that's not the person you need. Like, even I get scared, but when you know that God is your force, God is your strength, then you have no reason to be afraid of the enemy, and that's just building that strong relationship with God. And a lot of times you may be like, well, God has been trying to attack me. God has been doing this. God has been doing that. But God is trying to show you, because God is a man of action. He's not a man of just words, but a man of action, where he's showing you where he is your strength, where and how he is going to help you, even when you do not see where the help is going to come from. Have faith and trust that God is going to be there for you. Like I'm so blessed to have had even the money to be able to to purchase these things, because Social Security owed me like an extra $300 that I didn't know it owed me. So it paid me $300 before the first, which is when I usually get paid. And I called and I was like, wait, how come I only get I only got a little bit of money? And they literally were like, oh no, we owed you a little extra. We owed you a little bit of money, so we're gonna give you the rest of it on the first. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, the full amount on the first. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was literally like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like I was literally like, that's amazing, because if I'm if you don't build a good relationship with certain people, they won't really understand. And I try to build a good relationship, especially with my leasing manager, which is super cool, but I definitely do not and will never take advantage. But just, communicating to her and being like, I'm just trying to have, especially if I have the things that I need. Because in the first months, the first time you move in, you have all these fees, right? But then once you pay all those fees off, then you don't really have too much to pay. You just pay like what, $50? My electricity was literally just like $50, which is super good. But I still have to pay like $250 for like signing up or whatever. So that's something I have to pay. And then I'm waiting for the money that is supposed to be paid back to me by Good Seed, which God bless them very much for being there for me. God is always enlightening me. He's speaking to me and he's reminding me like, listen, there's nobody else that's going to help you. It is frustrating. And even with God, we were both frustrated. It is frustrating when sometimes you meet people that are not all the way prepared. But me and my caseworker from Good Seed literally had spoken before, and I had completely forgot because of the weakness of my flesh, which we are strengthening each day. Each day that I spend time, isolate myself from the rest of the world and spend time to myself, I prepare myself to be better, to be able to help someone else, whoever is in need, the best way that I can. And that includes myself. Number one, of course, anything, because if you can't help yourself, you of course cannot help anybody else. If you do not fix yourself, you cannot fix anybody else. And understanding that people are not here for you to fix, but for you to do your best to install or plant a seed and let God do the rest of the work, and let God work His magic as well as them. Because it's not like God is doing this alone. God is like, we're doing this together. We're in this together. I don't want you, I'm not going to steal, rob you of your energy. I'm not going to rob you of your strength. I'm going to tell you that we work as a team. You're not a robot where I'm just doing all the work and you're just standing there. No, we are doing this hand in hand, as you can see. Even if you are this tool that I'm using in this world, that the world can see you and prepare themselves until they see me. We're in this together. So definitely, Good Seed is a great support. There were a bridge, and that's everything. Like, connections is everything. One thing I want you guys to know is, without connections, you're not going to be able, like, even if a certain team didn't do as much as the other, they did definitely do their best to connect you to where you need to be, right? To get you to the right people. Good Seed connected me. Wesley Health Centers connected me to Good Seed. Good Seed connected me to Brilliant Corners, and the crazy thing is, some people literally try to get a piece of the cake, which we don't mind donating and giving a piece of the cake. Like, I don't mind. But when the thing is that the trick here is that when people don't put the right information, the people that deserve the right credit don't get that credit, and the wrong person ends up getting the money, and the other one doesn't get, and the people that are actually helping you end up not getting the money. Like, from Step Up Court, like Exodus literally put the wrong name. They put the wrong last name on the piece of paper. Another thing is, they said People's Concern is the one that housed me, when People's Concern did not house me. People's Concern watched me when they had a shelter right there in Santa Monica ready to house me. I mean, they could have housed me the day they saw me on the street, but instead they decided to just bring me little shirts, bring me little clothes, instead of literally putting me inside of the shelter and stop leaving me outside. They literally sent me to a very dangerous shelter, a domestic violence shelter, where people that were hired there, were not mentally stable. They were abusing and dogging out all the clients, where I'm like, I'm not going to live here. I'd rather be on the street than to live with people that are going to mistreat me just because they see that I'm in a vulnerable situation, just because they finally have a chance to be on top and to be the boss. Now they're going to think that they can just treat me anyway. So I was like, nah. And that was Volunteer of America. I was like, nah, I'm not dealing with this. I'd rather be on the street in peace, because whenever I was in that shelter, I was just fighting and arguing, and with all these, and they the ones that started the fight, because I'm a peaceful person. I really am. I'm a person of business. Peaceful people get results done. We get things done. We get where we need to be. If I was a person that started problems everywhere I went, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't be here. The universe does not tolerate stupidity, and that's something that I do not like to deal with at all. And so therefore, I'm sitting over there like, nah, I'd rather be on the street than to be dealing with fighting, because I need to have peace in my mind while God operates and works my body and heals me and recovers and speaks to me. I can't even hear God over all the loud people that are trying, and especially when you're about to go to sleep, you might as well be on the street. If the whole entire shelter is against you, even the staff is against you, you're not even going to want to fall asleep, because you're going to be like, they're going to try to set me up. This is a whole trap house. Like, no, I'm out of here. And that was in the hood. So therefore, I do thank God that they did the best that they can. And I do know that they did the best that they could. And I do know my caseworker from Good Seed did the best that she could. And she actually is a respectful person. She talks respectfully. She speaks respectfully. She's, she does her best, but, a lot of people don't like to be mentioned. They don't want to, I try to let them know, I guess if I don't have a therapist, you're going to be my therapist or whatever. Or, I try to explain and try to let them get to know me. Like, my caseworker from Good Seed did not like that I gave her my social media and asked her to follow me. People think that following you is just going to, yes, it's going to grow your social media, but not everybody follows. And it's, like I said, we pay to promote our social medias, and you have to have money to make money most of the time. So therefore, you don't have to worry about that. But by her telling me that, I was like, I was like, oh, okay, I was just trying to help out because I was trying to make things easier for you, you know, and I didn't know, you know, I didn't read anywhere because I'm the first one that's done it. Anyways, guys, to be continued, we're going to talk more about this, okay? Toodles.